Good morning, welcome to Tuesday morning's thought for the day. I've been reading this morning a really interesting thought and I wanted to share it with you. It's from this book called Soul Fuel, which is a daily devotional by the adventurer and author, TV presenter Bear Grylls, who I'm sure some of you will have heard of. And my thought for the day in this book has been about joy, not religion. And this is what Bear says. It says, William Wilberforce was loved as much as he was respected. Driven by his faith, he joined with others and campaigned to end the slave trade. It was a long, wild ride, and at times he was said to be both the most admired and the most hated man in England. Jesus was both admired and hated too, and those of us who are trying to live with Christ inside us can expect to face moments of negative reaction. But when we're properly rooted and looking to Him, those extremes won't matter so much. We have something greater inside ourselves than the opinion of others. We hold the keys to life and freedom in our hearts. Christ brings that to us quietly and with love. He brings joy, never religion. When I was growing up, church services so often were lacking in joy. They seemed to be about rules and solemn voices. No wonder I assumed that God was cold and impersonal. But Jesus wants to show us the truth about what it means to live with Him. John 10 verse 10 says, I have come that you might have life and have it to the full. When we try to live in Jesus' footsteps, things get put into perspective. The highs and lows that used to turn our heads can begin to lose their power. And the quiet, still, unsung moments can excite our hearts. The joy of Jesus creeps up on us. Finally, perhaps for the first time in our lives, we begin to discover what true freedom really looks like. You know, I've met people whose faith is very much expressed within what Bear talked about there in terms of rules and solemnity, as though God was impressed with solemnity. You know, they're a step away from that sort of self-flagellation that you see in the kind of extremes of medieval Christianity. That the joy of the Lord is so deep down within their heart that when it eventually comes up, it brings the Chilean miners with it. And you don't get a sense when you look at people whose faith is expressed in this way that there is anything desirable in that sense about the faith that they practice. Now, I'm not saying that everyone has to go around sort of dancing and tambourine and stuff all the time. That's not real life either. And there are definitely times for sadness and for grief and for doubt and that full spectrum of the emotions of our faith and our life. But if there isn't joy in our lives, if there isn't a sense in which coming to Jesus, following Jesus, enriches our lives, makes it better, makes us better as people, then what kind of advert is that to the God that we believe in? And so my hope for you this morning as you listen to this thought is that you too can experience the joy of Christ transforming you, taking hold of you, empowering you to live throughout this day whatever the highs and lows of it may be. And I pray that your faith is one that is enriched and deepened by that joy that kind of seeps out of everything you do, that joy that informs everything that you are, and that you might know today that your life is better and fuller and freer and more joyous because of the presence of Christ, and that others may see that joy and see the wonderful impact of God's presence in your life. And so perhaps simply the prayer is, Lord, may I experience more of your joy today. I look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow, but in the meantime, God bless you.